Cessna 59 Victor, runway 3 at Alpha 7, cleared for takeoff, make left closed traffic.
Cleared for takeoff, left closed traffic, 59 Victor.
Cessna 65501, traffic parts party arrival from midfield, runway 3, cleared, touch and go.
Clear, touch and go, 501.
Cessna 347 Mike Echo, number
Clear.
2, runway 3, cleared, touch and go.
Number 2, clear, touch and go, runway 3, 347 Mike Echo.
Entered. Power on. Airspeed is alive. $55. Oh. We are airborne. For 74. $700 feet. Past the runway. Left. Crosswind.
Twin Star 767 Alpha Victor, delay approved. Runway 3 cleared for takeoff, make left closed traffic, follow the Cessna departing ahead.
Runway 3, clear for takeoff, left closed traffic, Twin Star 767 Alpha Victor.
At altitude. Full back power. Ready for downwind. Trim. Full back power. Reverse order. No factor.
And just a little higher.
Cessna 59 Victor, runway 3 cleared, touch and go after touch and go, left downwind departure.
Runway 3, touch and go, cleared left, downwind, departure, 559, 50.
That'll work.
Cessna 65501, number 2, following the Cessna ahead, runway 3, cleared, touch and go.
Number 2, runway 3, touch and go, clear touch and go, 65501.
Cessna 347 Mike Echo, number 3, following the Cessna ahead, runway 3, cleared, touch and go.
Number 3, traffic in sight. Runway 3, clear, touch and go, 347 Mike Echo.
Twin Star 7 Alpha Victor, traffic follow to your left and downwind.
Traffic depart, Twin Star 7 Alpha Victor.
around. Beautiful day.
It is indeed.
Alright, I'll just start slowing down. This power. Low on 10, flaps 10.
When do you plan on doing base?
Is about now.
Okay. I just want to make sure you aren't going too much further.
Power. High. Flaps. Full fast. Full back power. Low 85, flaps 20.
Twin Star 767 Alpha Victor number 4, following the Cessna head, runway 3, cleared, touch and go, touch and go, left downwind departure.
Number 4, following that traffic ahead, runway 3, clear, touch and go, left downwind departure, clear, approaches.
Below 85, flaps 30. Clears to land. More power. Touchdown. Flaps up. Power on. Airspeed alive. 55.
Alright, left downwind departure.
Left downwind departure.
I was only asking about that downwind. I didn't want to mess you up, make you feel self-conscious, but also you hadn't started to descend yet, and you were kept going, so I wanted to like make sure, like,
Ah, okay.
when you were going to, you weren't showing any signs of, slowing down,
Alright.
descending, until we were further out. And so I know we extend often when there's Barneys in the pattern and stuff, so
Right.
I just wanted to check and test kind of what your sight picture was, because for me, I always like to be, if I can help it, close enough that if I had an engine failure, I can make it back.
Yeah, okay.
Which the further you go, that's not as doable, which is fine if there's traffic and we have no other choice. But then I'm always looking for where else I would go if needed.
Okay.
So you didn't do anything wrong necessarily, I just kind of got antsy and wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it was. I think that was one of the first ones where I haven't been behind 3 people.
Right. Yeah, you were the first one, so that's why I was asking. I'm like, you're the first one here. You can turn whenever, and you were acting like there was 3 people in front of you.
Right.
767 Alpha Victor, go around right side of the runway.
Which I did notice that I was doing. Wait a second, I went too far here.
Good. And we are departing the area, so continue climbing. Pitch flat 74.
Okay.
We want to go higher than 2,000. You don't want to stay at 2,000 unless you're landing, unless you're in the pattern.
Okay.
Otherwise, it becomes unsafe for people to enter the pattern.
Gotcha. Well, I haven't done that before. Now I know. So I stay in the pattern, but just keep going higher?
Yep, exactly right. Yep. Yep, it's left downwind departure, so the same pattern, just higher.
About 2,500, then a left downwind departure approved. Yeah, Cessna low to your left is staying in the pattern at or below 2,000. There's traffic just south of the interstate and a left turn southwest bound at Cessna climbing out of 2,000.
Faster.
Left downwind departure.
Alright, at or above 2,500, left downwind departure.
And then how high do you normally climb when you go out this way? What are you going to climb to?
I climbed to 35.
Sounds good.
Cessna 347 Mike Echo, traffic you're following is ahead and to your left, crosswind downwind. The Cessna, there's traffic high and to your right. There'll be a left downwind departure at or above 2,500.
Okay, climbing checklist, flaps up, throttle, mixture, engine instruments, within limits, landing and taxi lights off, landing, climb checklist is complete.
And if your feet get too hot, we can put the cabin heat back in.
Fine.
I like to ask about that altitude. One, for good habits, if you know what's going on, and two, because how high should we go in this area? Or are we allowed to go?
Got to stay below at the delta right up here,
Uh-huh.
so we can't do that. That's 4,000 feet.
The Delta, we're fine. It's the Bravo. That's
Bravo.
The Bravo starts at 4,000 feet, so that's why 3.5 is a good spot to level off until we're past the Bravo. Sounds good. But yeah, it's one of those things when you're training and you're just repeating the maneuvers
6550
or just
runway
repeating
3
landings,
clear,
you forget to kind of be aware of
Right.
some of the other stuff too.
Cessna 347 Mike Echo, number 2, following the Cessna ahead, runway 3 clear, touchdown.
Oops.
Which is why 35 is good, because if you pick 39 and you climb,
Alright.
very good.
City airport information.
I'm just listening to Rainbow Valley as well. At this point, we're above the Delta, so we don't have to be talking to them anyways. It's still good procedure, like anytime you're around them, to be listening to them, but
Yeah, okay. So I guess I'll head over to the grass area.
yeah. Sounds good. My controls, you want to put this on?
Yeah. Okay, so I just look not see the
Yeah, don't look
right?
outside. Yep. Alright, then whenever you're ready, your controls, we're going to be staying at 3,500 and following that heading 210. So, your controls?
My control.
Your controls.
Goodyear Tower, Varney 843, holding short runway 38, ready for departure.
And let's do a left turn heading 180.
Okay, left turn 180.
Right, heading either 559 to Victor or we turn right 3,500 southbound to the Greenfield.
Similar practice area, turn star 767 Alpha Victor, level 3000 feet, just departing JPA transition west. Transit.
Alright, looking good. Now, let's say we were en route right now to Yuma. We followed the flight plan, you did your cross country,
Request Southwest departure 501.
and all of a sudden we can't see the ground. It happens slowly, right? Little fog, little denser, until we can't see anymore around us, above us, or below us. What are you gonna do?
Well, I need to stay in VFR.
You do,
So
but
we
we're
turn
not.
around.
Ah, okay. Alright, so turn to what heading? Turn around.
Go back the way I came, north.
Perfect. Yep. Okay, good. And so if you start that, go ahead and start that turn.
Okay.
Good. Checking habits. We want to continue altitude. It's best to be standard rate too. So if you reduce a little bit, you want to be able to walk from this wing to that box. And so reduce your bank angle a little bit, right about there. You see how you can walk now from that wing to the box?
Okay.
That's going to be standard rate in this plane. Let's go ahead and break it off and do a right turn now. Or let me go ahead and take control. So my controls.
Okay.
But does that make sense? So the reason why we want to keep it standard rate is you're going to have less tendencies where overbanking, sometimes when people just start, yeah. So that's just a better practice. But your answer was correct. Good. All right, I'm going to maneuver. If you want to close your eyes, tuck your chin to your chest. And when I say your controls, you can go ahead and take a look and recover. You've done this before with your instructor, right?
With you, yeah.
With me. Okay. Was the only time you did it?
We did it once with the instructor.
Oh, okay. Alright, your controls?
Okay, we're going down. Full power back. Level wings.
You see that here, or are you looking out?
I'm looking out.
No, looking out. You're supposed to be looking here.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of the
look
hood.
up.
I meant look up here.
Okay.
You got, that's the whole purpose of the hood. You can't see outside. But correct
you wanna do that
procedure.
again?
Correct procedure.
Okay.
But yeah, whenever you got that
But I
on,
cheated.
yeah, you cheated a little bit. We're pretending like it's like foggy or something you can't see outside,
Okay.
and you have to recover this way, not by looking out.
Alright, you want to try it again?
Sure, my controls.
Okay.
There's a difference when it's like VFR and you can recover, and when we are in that clouds, or even at nighttime when it's kind of hard to see what's going on where the ground is. Area a little bit here. Alright, your flight controls?
Not going to look up. Looks like we're going up. Our airspeed is going up. So,
Plane didn't want to stay up, yeah. Full power, no, to the horizon.
full power.
And then fix any turns. It did kind of, it started up and then it went down because these planes, I even put trim in, but it didn't want to stay up. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if you had it and it was up like that, it's full power nose to the horizon. Then fix the bank. Okay. My controls?
Your controls?
My controls. Why don't you go ahead and take off your hood, and we'll move on. Right, traffic Skyhawk, 9559 Victor, just to the east of the green field, 3,200, climbing 3,500, Alright. Your controls? Your controls are just climbing up to 3.5.
Okay.
And then roll out, find a heading that you like for steep turn.
Okay. 95, 35 south. A little bit trim down. Okay, steep turn.
Steep turn.
Go to the left. Cleared first ball. Pull back. 30, 45. A little more power. A little altitude. Back down. On the ball. Check around.
So for this one, what's your goal? Is we had a checkpoint, right?
Oh, we wanted to stop at south.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can continue turning,
Okay.
but it's just that's why we had the outbound, right?
Okay.
South.
Gotcha.
With a turn around a point down on the ground, you can do up to 2 or 3 turns, but steep turn, it's
Okay.
roll out half your bank angle, start your roll out, and then
Okay.
you should be right on it.
And then go the other way.
And then you could potentially go the other way, but we don't need to see that one today.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do a power on stall.
Power on stall.
We're traffic Skyhouse 955 Victor South into the Greenfield 3005 600 power on stall.
Okay, we're gonna pitch back.
Full power, full power. Full, oh, it is full. Okay, good. Didn't seem like it for a second there, but good job. Alright, not bad. A slight rudder kind of came out as we got slower, but that was pretty stable. That was a good recovery. Let's do a power off stall.
Power off stall. Going power back. Run it clean.
Full drag, dirty. Let's go dirty.
Okay. 5, 10, 20, 30. Stall. Pitch. Full power. In airspeed. Flaps up 20. Flaps up 10. Flaps up.
Good, not too bad.
Airspeed.
Typically, preference-wise, that was good. Typically, I like to not pitch down so much below the horizon. I like to just try and meet it right below the horizon as I go full power.
Oh, okay.
One of the reasons for that is the common hotspots for stalls are going to be really low to the ground, and so you're not probably likely to want to do that.
Okay.
Test.
And so you want to loud and clear. You want to.
Currently 501 doesn't transmit on COM 1 very well.
Let's go ahead and make a left turn.
Kettle Shed 3,500.
Back over.
Whatever.
So does that make sense though? You're probably less likely to want to or even feel comfortable to do that kind of a pitch down if you're like only 50 feet off the ground,
Right.
right? And so we want to train how it's going to be realistic for you. If you just go slightly below the horizon, you're not going to be descending as much. You will still recover, and that's the way that you should do it.
Okay. I was trying to get negative G's. So keep control of the plane.
Well, I mean, it depends on your altitude and everything, right?
Right.
And you're right. We have lots of altitude out here, so that's why I said it and I prefaced that was perfectly fine.
Okay.
But my preference here, especially when we're trying to do these maneuvers for your solo, which is going to be where you're landing closer to the ground, I'd rather you have that mentality of, oh, I can just recover from that horizon, and I don't have to push forward.
Okay.
If you can do it both ways, great. And if you know which way you're going to do it, but again, it's that reaction. That's the same reason for the before takeoff, where I was like, oh, hey, that sounded really good when you read it, but do you know it instead of, that's kind of the same principle there.
Right. Okay.
Cool, that sounds pretty good. What happens if we have a wing fire off our little bright wing tip here?
A wing fire?
Yeah.
I'm going to change that.
Okay.
Um,
Goes on left.
to the
Got
left
it.
side. And then I'm going to, I don't know.
Okay, we've got a checklist for that, depending on if you've transposed it on here or not.
Yes, I do.
But on our checklist, it says to turn off all exterior light switches.
Emergency.
Um,
Engine fire during start. Engine fire in flight.
Wing fire is what we want.
Wing fire in flight. Okay.
There you go. So landing and light switches off, navigation off, strobe off, pitot switch off, and then this note here. What does that say?
Side slip. Keep the flames away from the fuel tank and cabin.
Alright, so let's do that.
Okay.
So do a side slip, because that's what I wanted out of this as well.
Alright.
Good, you chose correctly. Sometimes people choose the other side slip, and the other one would mean, like if we had one on the left side, that fire would want to climb towards us, but you our side slipping correctly. And then we're looking for a place to land, because obviously fire is scary and bad around our fuel, and so we're looking for a place to land as we're side slipping, so you can reduce power. What the problem is now is if you're pitching up, now we might stall. If we stall uncoordinated, now we might spin. So again, workload management, don't fixate on the fire or the slip in the emergency spot and forget you have to worry about your pitch too. So that's why, this one's messy, but it includes the slip, which is what I wanted to check too.
Okay.
Alright, let's go ahead. You can recover. Let's do a left turn heading 240.
Left turn clear. 240. Want me to go back up to 35? Or what do you want me to do?
It's okay. Actually, I kind of want to go Go ahead, go power idle. Engine failure.
Power idle.
You do it to yourself. Green ride, traffic, Skyhawk 9559 Victor, just east of the green field, similar to procedures, something. You can do what you do. Don't wait for me to get off the radios.
Oh.
What are you going
You
to do?
want me to do the, okay.
Yeah,
Cross
engine failure.
Okay, I'm going to get my pitch attitude. 68. You want me to go to 24 also, and I got that. Now I'm going to check for a place to land. And I can right there. And then I'm going to get to my checklist. Fire, where's engine failure, failure in flight, airspeed, fuel shutoff valve, shut off, fuel selector valve, both auxiliary fuel pump, switch on, mixture, rich, try and start it again.
Rebel Rally Galaxy 5
Doesn't start.
3500 South California, stall Rebel.
And I do offer emergency 121.5. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Sounds good. What's the squawk code?
7,100?
7700.
77.
So you have 75 hijacking, 76
I was trying to stay away from the 75.
Yeah, and then 77. They'd probably would laugh at you if you had 75 with like the Cessna.
Right.
It's like, oh, you hijacked me. Let me just mess with these numbers real quick. Don't worry about it.
Now these are actually going north-south. That's unusual. So I want to land in a north-south fashion. The wind is not a factor today. So much rather land on that dirt road.
Rebel Rally Galaxy 5501, 3500 South California, simulated emergency. You look up below there.
There's trees there.
Alright, I'm looking that you have a spot. You do have a spot, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to kind of make sure that your eye picture, your judgment is looking alright. We could actually land there, so I'm going to keep us going down until I can see that.
Okay. Go for it. Save the flaps so I need to.
Good idea, because in turns we typically descend more anyways. And I am curious which one we're landing in.
And the middle one, next to the green.
Middle next to the green. So the row's going
Yeah,
south.
the rows are going the wrong way, but if I go the right way, then it's too short.
Oh.
No?
So you're landing across those berms there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Not ideal. Look how steep some of those berms are. Like even the one down here,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So not ideal, but go ahead.
Alright.
Full power and let's go around.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, our engine came back. Go around procedure.
Back. Flaps are up. Mixture's correct.
I do like how you didn't
Speed.
immediately try and climb. Same. So that's the same principle for the stalls that I want for this, right? You didn't immediately feel like, oh no, I'm too low. Let me climb. It's like, no, let me get the flow and the speed. All right, let's stay low. Pick an altitude for ground reference maneuvers. Yeah, see how steep some of those berms are? I would not have picked that. You had so many more options when we were high, right? That you could have picked. I would have picked something.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Because that short field, like, yeah, that's short, but we probably could have made it, or any of these other dry fields out here where we're not as restricted, but the berms are a little iffy. So.
yeah. Well, it threw me, actually, because we were practicing before over there, and Eric was saying, well, I should go with the grain. And so that's what my first choice was. Then I got lower and saw that it was going against it, and those are the short ones.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Your distance and everything else looked fine. But like see like even like some of these fields out here, even though it's not necessarily those fields, but like there's plenty of it's wide and it's long and it's not
Yeah,
as
it'd probably be better.
like this actually would be better
Right.
than something with those berms.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
2 miles to the
But
west of the Buckeye.
when you have altitude,
climbing 3,000.
that's where it's good to make that change.
Okay.
I don't mind that you pick a place that's but if we had time, be willing to change it. Don't be stuck on
Okay.
and stubborn, if that makes sense. Like you notice pretty early on, oh hey, that grain looks a little weird. See if there's anything else, right? See if we can, abort. Don't be so stubborn that you don't see something else.
Okay.
All right, let's do a. Did we do a turn around point last time? Or an
Yes,
S turn?
I think so.
We want to do an S turn this time around? Let's
Okay.
do an S turn.
Want me to go this way?
Well, it depends which way you need to go.
Well, the wind is not a factor.
Over at Goodyear, it's like 070 at 7, but doesn't look like it's very strong out here. So,
Yeah.
so if it's not a factor, you pick whichever one you want.
Okay. I'm going left.
Greenback, Quebec Skyhawk, 9559 Victor, the east end of the Greenfield, 2000, ground left 20 years Rainbow. Alright, what's our altitude that we're picking?
We're gonna go with 21 now.
Rainbow Valley Sky.
Okay.
2,000 feet climb.
And just let me know when did we start it already?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little close to this road if that's where we're going for an S turn. Or are we going this one?
This way.
Okay. Copy. Good. No, that's good. I just was looking at the wrong road
Okay.
when you said we were in it. That's why I was curious on when we started it. Coordination, altitude, speed, that all looks good.
Rainbow Valley, Twin Star 233, Alpha Victor, over Liberty Bridge at 3,500, climb at 4,500 to the south, Rainbow Valley.
Rainbow Valley Practice Area 2448 is approximately 6 miles to the east of Tonopah Town.
Yeah, that looks good.
3,500
So like even these are your fields right here.
Yeah.
Instead of continuing on a downwind, you could have just made a right turn to then enter on final this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
those,
you could have just changed your approach, or even the fields behind it. So that's all I'm saying is if you once you notice that it's not ideal, see if there is a different way to do it versus just being stuck.
okay, so the landing distance,
The landing distance was good though, so like that looks fine.
I mean, for actually
even this
touching
one-
down and,
Like you probably could have even picked like if you decided that one didn't look good, we could have done a base turn to this one.
okay, so that
see?
is long enough to
Yeah.
actually do a short field.
Yeah, how long do you
session.
need? That's in your PUH. You should look that up, right?
Yeah, but
But yeah, we only need,
visually from here to there.
Oh, yeah. yeah, that's plenty.
Okay.
You know, if you're right on like the numbers and stuff, that's plenty. Also, any one of those fields over there
Yeah,
look pretty
hindsight,
nice.
those are much better.
Right? But this is what I'm saying. Like, one, let's go ahead and climb up to 2,500 and
Okay.
let's go ahead and head straight to the Twin Lakes. But just kind of like, it's better if you're always taking in emergency spots. I kind of mentioned that when we did an extended downwind, more or less like, hey, if I have to extend, I'm looking for spots. You know, if I'm out here, I'm already looking for spots. That's that way. When you have a real emergency, it's not the first time you're looking.
2,500 descending, simulated emergency level.
Rewrite traffic Skyhawk 9559 Victor, just to the east of the wash and the main field 2,500, continuing back towards Goodyear River.
This weather information for Arizona available on flight service frequencies. Taxiway ramp 1 not visible from the tower. NOTAMs 177 foot crane 2.72 nautical miles west of the approach end of runway 3. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Zulu.
Zulu is still current, that's what it was before. I changed to Zulu.
Good airport information, Zulu.
Which one was 2 years ago?
1347 Zulu observation. Wind calm. Weather's better than 5,005. Temperature 9er.
Slight left turn towards the Twin
Altimeter
Lakes.
2978. Runway 3 is in use. Expect visual approach.
Alright, looking for our traffic, making sure nobody's around. About how far away do you think we are?
We're about 10 miles. You should be calling in.
Cool. Sounds good. If you want to call in, you can. Zulu, full stop.
Okay. Goodyear Tower, Skyhawk 559er Victor, 10 miles south of the airport for a full stop with information Zulu.
Check 9559 Victor, Goodyear Tower, make straight in runway 3, report 3 miles.
Straight in runway 3, report 3 miles, 559er Victor.
There we go. There's a 9 over there, but that's what you said was good. But yep, alright, sounds good, looks good. And your last landing was pretty good. You know, I've been a little nitpicky on some things, but I think that overall,
What was wrong with the first one?
with the landing? No, I just said in general I've been nitpicky about like your checklists and some of the other stuff, you know. But yeah, overall your landing, your takeoff, you know, your situational awareness, your organization is definitely improved. You said you're feeling good about training, having fun with it too?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, things start clicking and it makes more sense. Not sitting there babbling about what the hell you're doing. You should actually know what you're doing 3 steps ahead.
Just 21718, runway 3, clear, touch and go.
Clear, touch and go, runway 3, 21718.
Cessna 59 Victor number 2, following a Cessna, left downwind to beam the approach and advise traffic inside.
We'll advise 90559 Victor.
We're advised, 559er Victor.
Good. You could have also said looking for traffic, but that works.
Runway 3, ready for departure.
Cessna 35325, good your tower, runway 3 at Alpha 7, cleared for takeoff, right turn southeast bound approved.
Runway 3 Alpha 7, clear for takeoff, right turn approved, Cessna 35325.
Alright, let's slow down a little bit. Everything's looking really good, but since we're following somebody, we don't have
Cessna
eyes on.
59 Victor traffic, follow ahead, enter left 2 miles, wing up left base.
Yep, left face.
Following traffic, left base, 559 Victor.
Do you have him in sight?
59 Victor, number 2, runway 3, cleared to land.
Number 2, runway 3, clear to land, 9559 over there. Stay right there. I just wanted to make sure you had him in sight, because when you said that you're following the traffic, he assumed you had him in sight. Instead of saying looking for traffic or negative traffic. Because that's what he needed. He needed to know.
Runway 3.
Holding short of runway
That very slight difference in word choice. When you said I will follow,
Right,
he thought you had it in sight.
yes. And I actually did.
Correct.
Slow down a little bit. Up high. Was perfect. There we go. On the runway. He's right
He's
above
descending.
it,
Yeah, he's doing a slip.
Okay, I'm gonna go below 110, flaps 10.
Barney 478, number 2, following a Cessna 3/4 mile final, runway 3, cleared.
Below 85, flaps
Number
20.
2, runway 3, clear touch and go, runway 478.
There, it's below 85.
Flaps 30, below 85. Third. Third, power off. Flaps up. Now, I have gone for that one.
I tried to, but that's okay.
59 Victor, when able, turn right, contact ground front set.
So used to getting yelled at for
So
not
that
using
was for
my
you?
brakes.
I will turn right and contact ground. So he did just tell you when able turn right, contact ground. But
Okay.
you're so used to what? Being
Um,
yelled at?
Not slamming on the brakes.
Oh.
So I try not to use them.
I agree. That was very stable. That's why I wasn't rushing you.
Okay.
When able, I try and aerodynamic braking, bring my flaps up, and then apply some breakage to try and get off as soon as I can. But that was good.
Now we usually pull over to the left a little bit so that somebody else can come in too. Is that good practice, or should I
Yes.
stay on the center?
That's good practice.